Wangari Moathari was born on the 1st of April 1940 and died on the 25th of September 2011. Moathari was a renowned Kenyan social, environmental and political activist and the first African woman to win the Nobel Prize. She earned a bachelor's degree in the United States at Mount St. Scholastica Benedictine College, her master's degree at the University of Pittsburgh, and went on to become the first woman in East and Central Africa to earn a PhD at the University of Nairobi in Kenya. In 1977, Moathari founded the Green Belt Movement, an environmental non-governmental organization focused on the planting of trees, environmental conservation, and women's rights. In 1984, she was awarded the Right Livelihood Award for converting the Kenyan ecological debate into mass action for reforestation. Moathari was an elected member of parliament and served as Assistant Minister for Environment and Natural Resources in the government of President Mwai Kibaki between January 2003 and November 2005. She was an honorary counselor of the World Future Council. She was affiliated to professional bodies and received several awards. On Sunday the 25th of September 2011, Moathari died of complications from ovarian cancer. Moathari was born on the 1st of April 1940 in the village of Hith, Nyeri district, in the Central Highlands of the colony of Kenya. Her family was Kikuyu, the most populous ethnic group in Kenya, and had lived in the area for several generations. Around 1943, Moathari's family relocated to a white-owned farm in the Rift Valley, near the town of Nakuru, where her father had found work. Late in 1947, she returned to Hith with her mother, as two of her brothers were attending primary school in the village, and there was no schooling available on the farm where her father worked. Her father remained at the farm. Shortly afterward, at the age of 8, she joined her brothers at a Hith primary school. At the age of 11, Moathari moved to St. Cecilia's Intermediate Primary School, a boarding school at the Moathari Catholic Mission in Nyeri. Moathari studied at St. Cecilia's for 4 years. During this time, she became fluent in English and converted to Catholicism. She was involved with the Legion of Mary, whose members attempted to serve God by serving fellow human beings. Studying at St. Cecilia's, she was sheltered from the ongoing Momo uprising, which forced her mother to move from their homestead to an emergency village in Ahith. When she completed her studies there in 1956, she was rated first in her class, and was granted admission to the only Catholic high school for girls in Kenya, Loreto High School in Limuru. As the end of East African colonialism approached, Kenyan politicians, such as Tom Mboya, were proposing ways to make education in Western nations available to promising students. John F. Kennedy, then a United States Senator, agreed to fund such a program through the Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. Foundation, initiating what became known as the Kennedy Airlift or Airlift Africa. Moathari became one of some 300 Kenyans selected to study in the United States in September 1960. She received a scholarship to study at Mount St. Scholastica College, now Benedictine College, in Atchison, Kansas, where she majored in biology, with minors in chemistry and German. After receiving her Bachelor of Science degree in 1964, she studied at the University of Pittsburgh for a master's degree in biology. Her graduate studies there were funded by the Africa America Institute, and during her time in Pittsburgh, she first experienced environmental restoration, when local environmentalists pushed to rid the city of air pollution. In January 1966, Moathari received her MSc in Biological Sciences, and was appointed to a position as research assistant to a professor of zoology at University College of Nairobi. Upon returning to Kenya, Moathari dropped her for a name, preferring to be known by her birth name, Wangari Muda. She arrived at the university to start her new job. She was informed that it had been given to someone else. Moathari believed this was because of gender and tribal bias. After a 2-month job search, Professor Reinhold Hoffmann, from the University of Gießen in Germany, offered her a job as a research assistant in the microanatomy section of the newly established Department of Veterinary Anatomy in the School of Veterinary Medicine at University College of Nairobi. In April 1966, she met Wangari Moathari, another Kenyan who had studied in America, who would later become her husband. She also rented a small shop in the city, and established a general store, at which her sisters worked. In 1967, at the urging of Professor Hoffmann, she traveled to the University of Gießen in Germany in pursuit of a doctorate. She studied both at Gießen and the University of Munich. In the spring of 1969, she returned to Nairobi to continue studies at the University College of Nairobi as an assistant lecturer. In May, she and Wangari Maathai married. Later that year, she became pregnant with her first child, and her husband campaigned for a seat in Parliament, narrowly losing. During the course of the election, Tom Mboya, who had been instrumental in founding the program which sent her overseas, was assassinated. This led to President Kenyatta effectually ending multi-party democracy in Kenya. Shortly after, her first son, Waru, was born. In 1971, she became the first Eastern African woman to receive a PhD, her doctorate in veterinary anatomy, from the University College of Nairobi, which became the University of Nairobi the following year. She completed her dissertation on the development and differentiation of gonads in bovines. Her daughter, Wangari, was born in December 1971. I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you in my next episode.